is Group 8, and our presentation covers the following topics: definitions, ambiguity, vagueness, use and mention, consistency and inconsistency, implications, contingent truth, and contingent falsehood. A critical thinker is someone who is able to do the following: understand the logical connections between ideas, formulates ideas precisely, identify, constructs and evaluates arguments, evaluates the pros and cons of a decision, justifies one's beliefs and values. Vagueness. A vague statement lacks clear and specific meaning. A thoroughly vague statement does not mean anything specific at all, but a vague statement can have some degree of specificity. For example, if I say, Roberta is tall, that is a vague statement. That is because the question how tall pops up. But certainly, I mean, Roberta is taller than average. She is probably taller than Danny, who is 4 feet 10 inches tall. Ambiguity. An ambiguous statement is specific, but it can be interpreted in two very specific ways. Here is a very clear common example. When I teach this topic and 40 students are in the room and it is Tuesday, I ask, raise your hands if you think next Thursday is 2 days away. Very consistently, about 20 people raise their hands. Then I say, raise your hands if you think next Thursday is days away. The first group puts down their hands and the rest raises their hands. While speaking about an upcoming day, next is ambiguous. To some people, it means that one will occur soonest after today, and to others, it means that the one after the soonest one. But the two meanings are each in themselves very clear. That means that in the usage of the word next, it is not at all vague, but ambiguous. Types of ambiguity. We have the lexical. This occurs when words have more than one meaning. For example, bank. Bank may mean a lot of things like a bank of a river, a savings bank, or a bank of computer terminals. Syntactical. This results from the difficulty of applying universal grammatical laws to sentence structure. For example, Mariam hit the man with a stick. This phrasing is unclear as to whether a man was hit with a stick or whether a man with a stick was hit by Mariam. Inflective. This arises where a word is used more than once in a sentence or paragraph, with different meanings in the fallacious argument. Definitions. A statement of the meaning of the term. Definitions are in two parts. We have the differendum, which refers to the term which is being defined, and the differend, the word that defines the differendum. For instance, science is the branch of knowledge dealing with a body of facts arranged and showing the operations of general laws. Here, the differendum and the differend is the term being defined. Uses of definitions. Stipulative definitions. This is used to give a new meaning to a term, whether or not it is already existing. Precising definition. Something between reportive and stipulative meaning. Then we go to the definition techniques. There are different ways of formulating definitions. Definition by synonyms, by abstention, by genus differential. Criteria for a good definition. This refers to the standard by which we choose good definitions. We have the use of international definitions possible. Avoid circularity. avoid obscurity, avoid persuasive definitions. This attracts positive or negative definitions to a term. There are certain misconceptions about definitions. We do not have to be precise and clear all the time. Dictionaries provide the most accurate definitions, and a lot of terms have technical meanings. Consistency and inconsistency. A consistent statement is a statement that can be logically possible to be true in the same situation. For example, Ella is happy, Ella is married. From these statements, it is seen that Ella is happy and married. This is surely understandable because a married person is surely going to be happy, which makes this statement consistent. Inconsistent statements are also known as contraries or false statements. For example, Caleb is 15 years old, Caleb is 25 years old. This is inconsistent in the sense that it is contradicting itself. A person cannot have two ages at a particular time. Contingent truth and contingent falsehood. A contingent truth is a true proposition that could have been false, whereas contingent falsehood is a false proposition that could have been true. Implications. These are conclusions that can be drawn from something, although it is not explicitly stated. Example, a situation where a policeman links a crime to someone, even though there is no evidence. We've come to an end of our group's presentation, centered on ambiguity, vagueness, definitions and its parts, as well as certain misconceptions and criteria for definitions, consistency and inconsistency in statements, and finally, contingent truth and falsehood. We hope you learned something from our presentation and it was useful as well. Thank you.